Hey, what's up guys, Tony here, and you are watching some Gran Turismo 5, and this is more of my student driver series that I started probably about a month or so ago. I just haven't had a chance to play a lot of Gran Turismo 5 with finals and stuff going on, so last night I decided to pick the game up again, set up my entire steering wheel, and go to town. And I'll be honest, it took like 45 minutes to get these 3 races done because something would happen. I'd spin out, somebody would rear end me and spin me out, pit me. It was quite an adventure, and I'll be honest, it's what I really enjoy about having this racing wheel now, because I had gotten to the point with my controller that I got, I don't want to say so good, I got so good at the game, but I got good enough at the game that I didn't really have to worry. I could be reckless with the controller and I wouldn't have to worry about the consequences. So now here with a wheel, I'm finding that I'm racing a lot more timidly. You know, especially since I took a month off, I started to really get a feel for the wheel, but now I'm like back to square one. You know, there's some familiarity with the wheel, but for the most part, it's like uncharted territory again. So what I'm in the middle of doing is trying to be dedicated about playing Gran Turismo 5. And oh, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this in that last video, but I actually started over on one of my other PSNs. I started completely over, and this is the FR challenge from the Amateur League, I believe it is. And this is the Toyota 86. I think it's like the 86 GT is what it's called in this game. So anyways, I'm trying to start from the ground up because I want to get really good with this racing wheel, especially, I mean, since, you know, I traded in the Xbox and all that other stuff to get it, and it's kind of like, to be honest, it's kind of like my Xbox just kind of sitting there in the corner of my TV room, and it gets very seldomly used, which is unfortunate because it's actually a really nice wheel, and I really like the challenge of it. And I guess for me, when it comes to gaming, like I've said many times before, gaming for me is a very social thing. However, if I'm not in the mood to play like a first-person shooter or something, which is where I find, you know, my social, that's where I get my social interactions from, as far as gaming, as I should say, because that makes me sound like a recluse or something. Like I sit at home, I play video games, and I don't go out and do anything. But that's where I find the social interaction on from a gaming standpoint. And so when I get to that point, and I'm kind of at that point right now, and I always get to this point, especially at the end of a semester, for whatever reason, I don't know if this happened to you guys or not. If it does, let me know. So for whatever reason, when the end of the semester comes around, and I am spending, you know, a lot of time for the last 3 weeks of the semester working on either projects or papers or just reading material, prepping for finals, I get to this point where I spend so much time and I'm so busy throwing on, of course, on top of that is work and all sorts of other requirements. I get to the point where I finally get that day off, and it's like I have no idea what to do with myself. And that's the kind of situation I found myself in the last couple of days, because my last final was on Tuesday, and so here it is Friday that I'm recording this. So I had Wednesday, Thursday, and now today, and today's the normal, it's actually, I shouldn't say the normal, but it's become a routine to have the Friday night Skype calls. Well, last night, you know, I'd worked yesterday, but last night when I got home, I just kind of found myself in this, I didn't really want to play. I didn't really want to, you know, jump on Skype or, you know, play a first-person shooter or whatever. And that's kind of blasphemy, I know, especially for a channel that's pretty much based upon first-person shooters, is for me to be like, you know, I kind of don't feel like playing a first-person shooter right now. So basically, when I get to that point, that's where I kind of reach for other games. And like I've been playing a lot of Far Cry 3. And I'm like pretty close to being halfway through the game. But for me, like, I don't know about you guys can let me in the comment section. I don't really like to power through certain games. Like, I like to try to take my time, but I do want to get through the storyline. But since there's so much other things to do, like say a Far Cry or an Assassin's Creed or whatever, I try to do side things, but I really do stick close to the mission, the main storyline, I should say. But I don't, now even though I say that, you know, that makes it sound like I just said I don't power through the game, but I do try to stick to the main storyline. So, but I try to be diverse, you know. And so I've been playing a lot of Far Cry 3, and I've been trying to actually do something that I don't normally do, is do a lot of the side quests, like, you know, go hunt animals, go kill pirates, go take out the pirate bases, go get all the radio towers so I can reveal the full map. And that's stuff that I don't normally do in Assassin's Creed. I don't like go around and make sure to get all the church sinks and then get revealed the entire map. You know, I kind of like punch through the storyline. You know, it might take me a while, but I'll get through the storyline. Well, that's what I've been doing with Far Cry. You know, I've been kind of getting through the storyline, doing the side missions like I was just saying. But even that, I was kind of like at that point, like, oh god, another shooter, you know? And so I played Madden yesterday, and I know there's a lot of you guys out there who are really wanting to see more Madden, and I failed you guys on Madden. Well, I'm going to do my best to catch up Scott McLean's career to the current time that we're in, and kind of get my feet wet with Madden again. And I know there's only a handful of weeks left in the NFL, but you know what? It's always nice to talk football, you know, and talk sports, and I really miss that. This entire year has been a year where I haven't talked sports. I haven't really dedicated myself to the sports games, which I kind of thought that my channel had made this transformation from being a shooter channel to getting partnered with Yoush, to becoming a sports channel, to evolving back into this, or if I should say evolving into this hybrid shooter sports channel, and then it sort of devolved, I guess, back into a shooter channel with games like Battlefield 3 taking up a lot of my time, you know, making new friends like the Shoestabian guys, you know, making a larger group of friends in Battlefield 3, and just enjoying my time playing Battlefield. And of course, once gaming season comes along here in the fall, you got DLC coming out throughout the year for Battlefield. There's Medal of Honor, there's Black Ops, and then now Far Cry. You know, it's like, oh, it's really hard to maintain that balance. So for those of you guys out there, like I said, who've been expecting and wanting more sports-related games, I'm gonna do my best now that the school semester is over to facilitate that need for you guys, because I enjoy doing it. I enjoy playing the sports games. I love talking about sports. I really do. It's just, for whatever reason, this year has just been an off year for me. Like I paid, like I said in videos previous videos, I paid somewhat attention to the Padres in midsummer. So like most baseball fans kind of do, you can drift in and out of baseball. And I kind of did that with the Padres, kind of drift in and out, because I had that whole season. I was trying to like compile these games, you know, from the beginning of the season in these, you know, very quick 15-20 minute videos, just to show you like a series with like the Dodgers or the Braves or whatever. And that fell to the wayside as well, because I kind of had lost that interest. And of course, you know, Scott McLean's career in MLB 12 floundered. You know, I tried to do too much. And I guess this is sort of turning into a commentary about sort of my end of the year retrospect and what my expectations are for next year. And I guess to go on that theme that I'm sort of finding myself walking down during this commentary, for 2013, I will be buying MLB 13 because of the fact that the Astros are moving to the American League. And so beyond that, I don't think I'll buy a sports game, like not MLB 14, but maybe MLB 15, you know, like every other year after that, just because of the fact that I really want to get a career done. I get through, I think the number of seasons I've been able to get through while maintaining this channel and maintaining the wide variety of this channel is like 5 years. And I think I did that in MLB 10. I got through like 5 years of Scott McLean's career and actually found my way onto like the Cubs, going from, gosh, I think I was with the Braves, or was it it was with the Braves in MLB 10. So I went from like the Braves to the Cubs. Then MLB 11 was all Padres all the time. And so next year I'd like to focus again on one character and not do 3. I did 3 this year. I don't know what I was thinking, but I thought I was gonna have more time than I really did, and find find sports related things to talk about, which I do the best I can. But when you're making these 3 different characters, you're like, okay, this is gonna be kind of tough, and it ultimately ended up being very tough. So. And then for Madden, I know Madden's gonna, here we are in the middle of football season. I'm already talking about Madden 14. But I think for that, I'll do my best to again, make it a weekly thing and not get hung up on, whatever's going on in the real life, and just, because it doesn't take any time. You just sit down, you make a video, you play one game, it's, only 16 games, and I fell behind somehow, it kind of baffles my mind, like, okay, how did that actually happen? Because it doesn't take a lot of time and effort. So anyway, so like I said, for those of you guys who are the sports fans out there who've been yearning, I'm gonna do my best to get back to those, and I might take a look at some MLB 12 again and just kind of see where I'm at with those characters, and maybe play some games and record them. And there's been some interesting trades and interesting free agent signings going on the last week or so. So it's kind of cool that even though we're not in the middle, we're in the dead of winter here, almost, I guess. January is kind of considered the dead of winter, but we're in winter time now. Baseball doesn't start up again until, you hear pitchers and catchers reporting in late February, early March. And, it's still cool that there are things going on, like things to talk about too, like major players being signed to different teams and stuff like that. So it's still nice. It's nice that baseball is not totally forgotten, while football season's out, or playing, and while hockey, I don't know if hockey's still on strike or not, but something to talk about. But beyond that, getting back to the gameplay, like I said, I played for like 45 minutes, and I spun out, got pitted, spun out. It's really difficult. And I know there's going to be a lot of guys here like, oh man, you got to take better lines. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. It's really difficult to make that transition. But any helpful tips would be great. I know right now what I've done is I've actually taken, I put it all the way to like the hardest, like no ABS, no traction control, blah, blah, blah. Took it all the way to the hardest. I raced like that for a while. It was so frustrating. So I dialed it back a little bit. So I think I've got like, traction control is like 1, ABS is like 1, and I'm trying to sort of wean myself off of those aids and provide it to like a more true experience. And I'll probably one of these days have to try those simulation tires. We'll see. I know it's going to be a pain in the ass. So anyways, the one thing I have to do, and my buddy Tan told me to do this, and I'm definitely going to record this and live comment at the same time. He told me to record with the wheel Indy cars. And on my normal account, I have a handful of Indy cars. And I've actually really wanted to try out and race with those, because I think they're going to be pretty awesome. But the way he describes it, it makes it sound like it's going to be a very scary-ass experience. So I guess all of us will have to wait and see, how that goes through, and hopefully I can get to that real soon. So anyways, guys, this video is wrapping up. I finally got through this track. This track I raced like 3 or 4 times, and it's a huge track too. And I'm saying like, God, I kept spinning out like that last corner, and it was just terrible. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I hope you guys have a good day. And at the end, there's some fails you guys can take a look at and watch all my fails. So anyways, guys, take it easy. Later.